Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Saturday and welcome back to another weekly home fragrance roundup. If you are new around here and this is your first weekly home fragrance roundup, first of all, welcome. This video goes up pretty much most Saturdays and it's just an opportunity for me to casually chit chat about all of the home fragrance that I used around the house over the course of the past week, what I was burning, what I was melting, what I was crocking, and what I was lamping. I always list and link everything that I'm sharing in the description box right below the video. If you'd like to know where to purchase any of these candles, that information is down there. There's also a few videos that I link in every weekly home fragrance roundup that might be helpful. For example, if you don't actually know what a candle crock or a candle lamp is, or you don't know how to use either of those candle accessories, there's a video that's linked in the description box. There are discount codes down there. There is information for sales that are happening over the course of the weekend from the different candle companies that I tend to favor. So there's usually a lot of information in the description box, so feel free to check that out. Also, I was just finally joined by my assistant who, once again, late to work, Alphonse. My goodness, you are just way too comfortable here at this point, huh? Anyway, this is Alf, or Alphonse. He is my trusty, loyal pug, and he likes to hang out in the background of, honestly, pretty much all of my videos. So if you ever have your earbuds in and you hear what sounds like snoring, snoozing, snorting, you know, whatever else, it's probably honestly this guy. So yeah, feel free to enjoy that pug ASMR. If you have one of these flat nose breeds here, you know that they are they're a little noisier than most dogs. So anyway, to get started with today's video, I want to take you guys on a tour of what is currently burning and what I am using in all of my crocks. I'm actually not using my lamps actively right now. I only have one out at the top of the stairs, and then I do have the one in my office. I haven't put it away yet, but I just haven't felt like using my lamps for some reason, but I've still been using my crocks pretty actively. So let's go ahead and check out what is happening in all of those crocks and what's currently going, because it smells pretty good right now. So let's dive in, and then I'll meet you back here and we are going to talk more candles and wax melts from this past week. Burning behind me while I'm filming today is Bath & Body Works Apple Crisp. And I haven't formally reviewed it yet because I'm not at the halfway point, but oh my gosh, I love it so much. What a great scent. I think this one is absolutely delicious. So if you have been on the fence about picking this one up, it seems to be doing pretty good as of right now. I will say it's got some wicked flames. Like, those are pretty... This one burns hot, I guess I should say. This has only been lit for, I would say, about an hour, and it is intensely hot. So maybe keep that in mind. It is one where I typically will only let it go for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Otherwise, I'm too afraid that it's gonna start getting a little bit sooty. So anyway, that is what is currently burning in the formal living room. Are you snoring behind me? Gosh, you guys, he's literally following me around and just snoring in the background. All right, let's go to the kitchen, buddy. All right, before we move on to what is currently burning on the kitchen island, this is one of my 2 Pura devices, and I am still enjoying the Nest Pumpkin Chai fragrance. Would definitely recommend those vials if you already have a Pura system. I have not formally reviewed it, but I will be sharing my review in the next week or two. Leave your thoughts in terms of how you feel about Pura in the comments down below. I feel like the feedback that I've been getting from most people is that it can be a little bit hit and miss when it comes to the different companies and fragrance vials. So yeah, if you have any experience with Pura, leave it down below in the comments. I know that that will be helpful probably to a lot of people. So, all right, let's see what's on the kitchen counter here. Okay, please ignore the fact that I still have not done the dishes from dinner last night. I'll get to that at some point. Anyway, I'm enjoying two fragrances here on the kitchen island. They're both technically the same fragrance. So this is Bath and Body Works. Are they calling it pumpkin spice latte? Yeah, they're calling it pumpkin spice latte. And then right next to it is my beloved, delicious pumpkin spice latte from the Kringle Reserve line. Listen, these are both fabulous pumpkin spice latte fragrances. I could really probably go either way. Now, this is just my second day with the pumpkin spice latte from Bath and Body Works, so I'm still somewhat new to it, but I like it a lot. So anyway, these two are delightful, and I just figured I would, I don't know, do a battle of the PSLs. So, but they're both performing just dandy. So delightful. Welcome to my laundry room where one of my favorite candle crocks lives. I actually just took the pumpkin apple out because honestly, I can't smell it anymore. But you can see here, well, maybe you'll be able to see. Hold on. I'm gonna have to kind of lift you guys over. So this is what a candle will look like after you remove it from your candle crock. I would actually recommend just leaving it in the crock until the wax solidifies again. But this isn't like, it's not super hot, but it's pretty warm. So do be careful. Anyway, do you see all that stuff floating around in there? That is basically just residue from the wicks, like the carbon residue. So anyway, that's delightful. I do love this pumpkin apple fragrance. Sorry, as I get this situated here again. I really do love this fragrance, and honestly, for the first half of the candle, it burned perfectly, but then it just dudded out on me one day. So it lasted a solid 2 weeks here in the laundry room. I do leave my Crocs on 24/7, so I don't turn them off at night. So I got 2 weeks of 24/7 like fragrance output from this one by popping it into the crock, which is actually more fragrance life technically than if I were to have, well, tried to burn it, because it wasn't gonna keep burning because the wick studded out. But yeah, anyway, this is why I love Crocs so much. I can just set it and forget it, and I love that lifestyle. So anyway, let's move upstairs and see what is happening in the Crocs upstairs. We are now in my master bedroom where I have another one of my candle crocks. And towards the middle part of this week, I turned this crock off because I had a super full Yankee Candle pumpkin wreath going for a few weeks in here. I finally stopped smelling the fragrance, so I decided to go ahead and turn the warmer off. And I replaced it with, I think it's Skeleton in Victorian Costume. This is from the Kringle Artist Collection, which was new for Halloween this year. This fragrance, to my nose, is not much of a Halloween scent. It's definitely a little bit more, it leans a little bit more floral to my nose. It's a beautiful scent. I actually hope they keep this fragrance around in the lineup, but I hope they release it in the spring because, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I adore this one. And it's been a really nice background scent in the upstairs bedroom here. Even Craig has said that smells really peaceful. So anyway, if you're not into necessarily burning exclusively, just seasonally appropriate fragrances this time of year, like if you can still handle florals in the fall, I would say get this one because it had a really good performance and it's just a lovely scent. But if you are looking for very like Halloween fall centered fragrances, this does not fall into that category for me. I really like the concept of this artist collection, but I feel like a lot of the fragrances that they released specifically in this one were just a little too maybe a little bit too pretty smelling for this time of year, I guess you could say. But at any rate, I'm loving this one up here right now, and I'm gonna keep enjoying this one probably for at least the next week and a half. As you can see, you know, I was just about at the halfway point with this one, so it's got, you know, quite a bit left in it in terms of fragrance oils, so it's just going to keep going, and we're just going to keep enjoying it. Okay, I don't have anything going underneath this candle lamp, but if you are new to home fragrance, I just wanted to show you really quickly what a candle lamp looks like. So you are probably starting to see these pop up at your local HomeGoods, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. I'm really glad to start seeing these candle lamps go mainstream. So you can definitely find these out in the wild now, but I do link a couple of great options that you can find on Amazon in the description box. So be sure to check that out. Again, I also link some Crocs there as well. So anyway, let's move on to the very last candle crop. Okay, please pardon the insane amount of dust. Actually, it's not dust, it's makeup. Ignore the insane amount of powder makeup that has landed on the top of this glass console table. I really need to do a deep cleaning in this room back here. But anyway, this is the last candle crock that I actively use. And in this one is another one of the Kringle Artist Collection candles. This is Witch Magic Spellbooks. Let me just confirm that. Witch Magic Spellbooks, yep. This one I had also burned to the halfway point and reviewed. It's a lovely floral. I really like this one. But once again, just not super seasonally appropriate. But anyway, I am really enjoying this one in the back part of the house here. Even Stella, whose room is right next door here, has mentioned that this is a really beautiful scent. So yeah, these Artist Collection candles, I feel like my family really enjoyed a lot of the fragrances. So yeah, I don't know. I would definitely think that if you are into florals, that this is a collection that is worth checking out. But if you are hoping for very like deep, mysterious, spooky, darker fragrances, that's not what is in this particular collection. But maybe next year they will kind of amp up the fall or more Halloween-y type fragrances for the collection. Because like I said, I think this one was a really cute idea. I really liked it a lot. So, all right, you guys, let's go back downstairs and let's talk about what else I was burning and melting this week. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that little tour of what's currently happening around here. It does smell really good. So, Alf is settled. So let's go ahead and dig into what else I was burning and melting this past week. We're gonna get started first with the candles that I actually finished. So first, I have pumpkin s'mores. Now, this one did actually really good for me. That's not the norm always with Bath & Body Works candles. I really tend to kind of still struggle with the performance of a lot of them, but this one I had no issues with. Man, this one smells good. Ugh. I did buy a backup of it when I first picked it up. I do not do that right now, especially with Bath & Body Works candles. Like, I can definitely repurchase them after I finish them, but I really try hard not to like stock up on candles anymore. I'm on a little bit of a like whittling down my collection journey. If you're new around here, I've been working on this for years. I used to own so many candles, and I worked really hard, especially to get my Bath & Body Works collection down. So I'm particularly mindful about going ham at Bath & Body Works anymore, but this one here was absolutely lovely. It did not actually come with this lid, but I really like this lid from a couple years ago. So let me know if you are someone who also keeps like really nice Bath & Body Works lids and then replaces the ugly ones that come with, not that this is ugly, but I don't know, I just think that maple leaf is so much prettier than just a White Barn embossed across the top. I don't know, but this was a great scent. If it's still available in store or online, I'm pretty sure it is. I think it probably is. This is worth picking up. I loved it. Some people have said that that was really light for them, which is kind of crazy because I found that to be pretty darn potent. All right, cranberry woods. I did not finish that this week, so we'll pop that off to the side for now. You guys, I finished it. I finished my beloved. This is Warm and Toasty for Kringle. This was new this year for fall 2024, and my order finally shipped. So listen, like all of you, I placed an order at the beginning of September and it just shipped a couple days ago. Kringle was massively backed up with the sales that they were having, with the clearance situation that they were offering, with the new releases that they kept coming out with. I think they really overwhelmed their shipping department. I felt really bad for them. I know a lot of people were getting frustrated, and I completely understand that. So I hope that Kringle either decides to slow maybe the new releases down just a little bit, or that they are able to update the staffing during these times, just so that, you know, the people that work there aren't like crazy overwhelmed trying to get all these orders out. They really had a lot of great sales. So I was fine personally waiting for my order, because obviously I've got plenty here to keep me busy, but I do absolutely understand and recognize that people were super annoyed by the fact that their orders were taking a long time to ship out. So anyway, I needed a replacement of Warm and Toasty, so it's coming my way. I was hoping that it would get here before I finish this one, but no such luck. Again, I have other candles I can burn, but this burned flawlessly and beautifully the whole way down. This is like Marshmallow Fireside, but better, because it has this cedar smoke note to it that I just think is mwah, chef's kiss perfection. I adore this, and it is my #1 top recommendation for either a fall or holiday candle from Kringle this year. It's so good. Kringle, please keep this around. Watch them discontinue it. I just love it so much. Okay, I also finished a HomeWorx. Which one is this? This is apple pumpkin pie. Okay, look at these wicks at the end. I don't know what on earth happened here. I've never had this happen, but do you see how they just kind of all congregated in the middle and completely used up all the wax in the center there? Now, there's only like a really, it's a really thin layer of wax. It burned what I would consider pretty perfectly, with the exception that it just kind of kept going towards that middle section there, because those wick clips are pretty high. So this really kept going for a while here after it was actually done, in terms of the wicks having available wickage, if you will. I don't think that's a word, but I just made that up. Anyway, this was delicious. It's a pretty fresh, like, apple scent for the most part. There is a little bit of pumpkin in here. I'm pretty sure I reviewed this a few years ago. I didn't do an in-depth review of this one this year. This one was sent to me in PR, by the way. I think I reviewed this a few years ago when I bought it. So it's red apple, pumpkin, clove, and ginger. It's a pretty straightforward scent. It's delicious. This one had a great performance. And by great, I mean by like current HomeWorx strength and throw standards. So it was a solid 7.5 in terms of strength, and this was also probably a solid at least 7 in terms of throw. I had no complaints about this one. The wicks were fine. Other than this funky thing that happened at the end, I had no issues. So I would get more. I like the scent. I think it's a great transitional scent. It's a little bit more, again, focused on the apple than anything else, so I think that makes it nice for transitioning. And then I also have, okay, I also finished this one. I just reviewed this one finally this week. This one did have a little bit more wax that kind of stuck to the side here, but this was salted maple pumpkin. And I tell you guys what, listen, I'm not normally a maple person. I'm not normally a maple or a caramel person. And the reason is that those two fragrance notes tend to come across as really intense and just cloying a lot of times. I feel like most candle companies like to put a lot of emphasis on those particular fragrance notes, and it's just too much. Like, too much maple is too much maple. Like, it just makes me want to like not ever smell maple ever again. But this is maple done right, you guys. The notes in here were spice, maple, butter, sweet, cinnamon, and vanilla. It was utterly delicious. It had an amazing performance, and I freaking loved it. And I would probably get more of it. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I would. If that fragrance is still around next fall, yes, 100%. Another, okay, those are all the candles that I finished, so let's move those off to the side. Now we're moving on to just candles that I was burning and enjoying this week. So, Heartwood from the Kringle Reserve line. I tell you guys, have you gotten this one yet? This is not in my usual wheelhouse. This is not a gourmand. This is very much a woody scent, but it's kind of like a sweet woody scent in a way. I've already done an in-depth review of this one. The notes are sandalwood, green, sage, spice, patchouli, and amber. I feel like the patchouli and the amber in this one could maybe scare some people off, but I really want to stress that it's not a whole lot of patchouli. And what you do smell patchouli-wise is very soft, very pretty, very perfumey. Not dirty hippie patchouli. Beautiful patchouli. I adore this. I cannot stress how much I like this. It's not an insane powerhouse, but it's perfect. Like, it's absolutely perfect the way that it is. I like the label too. So this is actually Heartwood on the label here. So, so pretty. Love that one. Will repurchase. Okay. I had it in my hands earlier. Cranberry Woods. I think this is my favorite packaging ever of Cranberry Woods. It looks so classy. So this is from like the White Barn like core collection here. So tart cranberry, cinnamon bark, and forest cedar. I think I have a review on my channel of Cranberry Woods from like 2011 or 2012. Like, I have loved this for well over a decade at this point. It is a very kind of heavy, darker cranberry. I don't know why I'm telling you about this. Everyone is familiar with Cranberry Woods, but if you've never tried it, I'm telling you right now, this is one of those fragrances that you have to add to your basket. First of all, it's great, I think, as a transitional fragrance, but then also, even as we go into like November and the holidays, I keep Cranberry Woods around until the end of the year once September comes around, because it just is a staple, and I think it's fabulous either in the fall or throughout the holidays. You need it. I need it. Maybe you don't, but I need it. All right, Pumpkin Donut Shop. Listen, it is a lot better once it's burning. I finally reviewed it on Cold Sniff. I didn't like this one. I did not like this at all. In fact, I returned the second one. But this is lovely. There is a really healthy dose of like powdered sugar in this one though. And it's a very distinct powdered sugar note. I don't know. I'm glad I returned the second one, but I am enjoying this first one here. It's just not entirely maybe what I expected it to be. So this one was from the Vault, and then this one was new, so I ordered both online when they were released. So this one I need to review next, but I wanted to show you guys how much the wax has discolored on this one. It's pretty much the same on this one, and they're kind of both at the halfway point. I'll be doing a formal review of this one that'll go up next week, but can you see the difference in the color of the wax? It hasn't changed the fragrance quite yet, but I'm kind of afraid that it's going to. So what's causing this is that the carbon from the wicks, these candles have those really thick, like tree stump like wicks. Do you see how thick those are? They also tend to kind of stay a little bit short sometimes, which causes them to then dud out. But what I think is happening, especially with this one, is a lot of that carbon is falling off of the wick into the wax. Sometimes that can affect the fragrance. Like I said, it hasn't in this case, but I have a feeling that it might. And when that happens, it's gonna suck, but I'll have to crock it, and it'll be fine once I pop it in the crock again, but it does suck that it's doing this. I wasn't expecting that. It's been a while since I've had that happen, but there it is. I still kind of struggle with Bath & Body Works, like I said, but do I still go back? Yes, especially in the fall and especially in the holidays, because I tell you what, they do have some really great core staples. You know what I want to see come back this year for the holidays? Just let's take a sidetrack here. Merry Mistletoe. How can I convince them to bring back Merry Mistletoe? Do I have to start a campaign? Do we need to put out flyers? What do we need to do, Bath and Body Works, to get you to bring back Merry Mistletoe? Let me know what one fragrance you want to see come back specifically for the holidays this year. For me, if you bring me back Merry Mistletoe, I will forgive you for some of the poor performance of some of your candles this year, Bath and Body Works. Anyway, leaves. I love me some leaves. Listen, this is just, it's a staple. It has been for like, again, over a decade. I will say back in the day, I used to only be able to light leaves for about like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then I would get a massive migraine. Not so much anymore. So again, one of the perks of getting older and my nose kind of changing, I can enjoy this one a whole lot longer than I used to. It's just such a classic, sweet, intensely sweet nectar fall goodness. Yeah, crisp red apple, golden nectar, and warm clove spice. I do love me some clove. This is delightful. Love it. And I love the packaging of this one. I think it's really pretty. Came with a nice gold lid. I guess I will accept this lid. All right, let's keep going. Next, let me grab this bad boy. If you come across this in the wild, and in the wild, I mean like Home Goods, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, you know, like the outlet stores. This has been spotted in the wild. It is the Spiced Apple Crumb, and it is, again, one of my favorite fragrances for the fall, specifically from HomeWorx. I would say this would be number 3, right behind Harvest Leaves and Autumn Pumpkin. Oh man, this Spiced Apple Crumb is delightful. It smells exactly like the Bath and Body Works Apple Crumb candle. Yeah, it smells exactly like it. So if you see this out there, just, I think Harry actually, I think he is the one that came up with the apple crumb while he was at Bath and Body Works. So it makes sense that he would have something similar in his line as well. But this is delightful and I just adore it. Let's discuss some of these delightful Halloween candles that I really have burned quite a bit this week, actually. So I finally reviewed all of the Kringle fall and Halloween collections. So all of the reviews are done. I think I actually maybe forgot to add the last few to the Kringle and Country Candle playlist. So I'll do that after filming this video. But anyway, the Spellbound collection, I kind of just kept going with these two this week. I was burning these outside in the backyard. We've really been enjoying our evening fires now that the weather has cooled down. So in our backyard, we're lucky enough that a few homeowners ago, someone put in this amazing backyard where they built this gorgeous like outdoor like fireplace, and it's under a covered patio. So we just sit out there year round and enjoy the great outdoors, even when it's raining or even when it's snowing, because it's covered. So it's just, anyway, it's a delightful place. But I love burning candles out there too. So a lot of these like smokier, spicier scents that maybe are a little too much for me indoors, I will burn outside, and I adore the heck out of them. And I'm telling you right now, Guardian's Vigil and Spirit's Call together was rocking my world when I was burning them outside together. Look at how I am almost done with both of these. I just kept burning them, and I burned them for hours outside. I expected these to like dud out or to have some kind of issue with them eventually, but they're burning like rock stars. And I really think the key difference is that they are not using any colorants in the wax in these. These are the Country Candle jars. And I really think that makes a big difference in the overall quality of the burn. I'm actually starting to wonder if it might be better for Kringle to just, if they want to keep these Country Candle jars, okay, fine. I mean, I'm not in love with this style of jar myself. I prefer this style of jar from Kringle, but if you want to keep these, maybe color the glass and not the wax, because these have been burning great, you guys. They really have. Anyway, Guardian's Vigil and Spirit's Call are both kind of spicy, earthy, smoky types of fragrances. They are delightful together. I'm telling you, if you picked up both from the Spellbound collection, burn them together. I think I'm actually gonna like borderline miss these once I'm done with them, but I don't know. I'm gonna continue to burn them over the weekend and enjoy them and finish them up because they are lovely. So I would love for those two fragrances to stick around in the Halloween lineup. I think those were two very distinct, like kind of heavier, spicier Halloween type scents. A lot of the fragrances, especially in the artist collection, and then also I think there were maybe like one or two in the Spellbound collection, they were a little flowery smelling, and I know a lot of people were not big fans of the floral notes. So those, not floral at all. If you're looking for spicy, like smoky scents, get them. All right. Also, I was enjoying my beloved Skull and Sonnet. I love this one. This was new for the Kringle Classic jar lineup this year. I'm almost done with it. It's just so stunning. Again, here we have some amber in this one. That is one of my favorite fragrance notes, especially for these perfumey scents. So this is bourbon, tobacco, sandalwood, suede, amber, and oak. There's already an in-depth review of this one, so go check that out if you're interested. But I just love it so much. It just makes me happy. It's one of those perfumey happy scents for me. Just kind of rocks my world. And I don't know, this is not the creepiest label, so I kind of appreciate this. There is a skull on here, obviously, but the label isn't quite as intense as frickin' Dreadful Dolly over here. Have you seen this? Have you seen this label up close? Look at this. She has fangs. Ooh. Yeah, this looks like a cross between someone said it the other day and I was like, that is the most spot on thing. The Conjuring doll, and then, was it like a Cabbage Patch Kid? No, Annabelle. Annabelle, which is the Conjuring doll, and what did they say now? Of course I cannot remember. Chucky? I think it was Chucky. Yeah, Chucky and Annabelle. Those two got together and they had this little demon here. I don't know. This one freaks me out. I don't like the fangs, but this is a great apple scent, I tell you what. Again, I just kept burning this one this week after I reviewed it because I was like, this is really freaking good. So apple, amber, coffee, green, wood, and musk. No coffee in here. Not at all. But the other notes, definitely a little bit more well, no green really either. There's a lot of focus on the apple here. The amber kind of adds a little bit of depth to it. Again, it's that like warm, resinous, slightly perfumey amber. There's a woody note in here that just is, I don't know, this just is a great scent. I think it's a lovely Halloween fragrance, but I think it's just also just a great fall fragrance. So if she freaks you out, totally just turn it around. She's pretty scary looking. Okay. Also this week I was enjoying this beauty right here. What is this? This is Sniff Creme Couture. I told you that I would be sporting this throughout the fall as well. I wasn't kidding. It is so good. I love this one. Sniff makes really great perfumes, but they also have a candle line. They also, ironically enough, have laundry products as well. But there is a new apple and pumpkin fragrance that I'm really tempted by. If you picked either of those up from Sniff, will you let me know what your thoughts are? Do you think they're worth getting? I'll probably just end up getting the 8-ounce sizes instead of going for the big, like I think this is 50 ounces. Yeah, this is the 50-ounce Mama Jama. This is a 4-wick, so this one is quite potent, but I assume that the 1-wicks will probably do just fine as well. So, yeah. Also, I started burning, hold on, I'm just gonna grab a couple of them. Brought them all down here, I really didn't need to. I started burning the new Above Love candles that I shared earlier this week in a haul video. They were sent to me in PR, just so you guys are aware. The Love to Fight collection and the Dia de los Muertos collection is now available from Above Love, and these are really nice. Now, one thing I will say is that they're not necessarily fall fragrances. These, especially the breast cancer awareness collection, they're a little bit more like flowery and perfumey, but really unique fragrances. One thing that I really appreciate about OG and her company is that she comes up with really great blends. I think they have a knack for like blending different fragrances together and coming up with like the most amazing concoctions. So if you are interested, these smell really good. They're not, like I said, the most fall type fragrances, but they're very unique and interesting and just something new and different to try. So I'm gonna keep burning these. I will start reviewing these in depth over the next week or so, so stay tuned. But let's go ahead and end this video with what I was melting. So let's dive into some Scentsy here. I also have, and I'm taking it back to like the way old school days of my channel here, but let's start with this one actually before we dive into the Scentsy. This is the Better Homes and Gardens Vanilla and Cookie Crunch. It used to just be called Vanilla Cookie Crunch. You can find this at Walmart, and I used to buy this all the time. Now, since we've moved to this house here, I don't really go to Walmart a whole lot because it's kind of out of my way. It's a little easier for me to get to my local Fred Meyer than it is to get to my local Walmart. So haven't really spent a lot of time in Walmart in the last few years, but I went the other day to check out some Christmas stuff, and I went into the wax aisle and I was like, I gotta leave with some of this. There's no way that I can just leave this behind. This is so delicious. Here's the thing though, and this was always my beef with the Better Homes and Gardens wax melts, is that they only last a day and then pretty much the fragrance is gone. I don't love changing my wax out on a daily basis. So that's why I really love Scentsy, because I can typically get a lot longer out of, you know, a couple of cubes with Scentsy than I can out of a couple of cubes of say like the Better Homes and Gardens or the wax melts that I can get at Fred Meyer, or quite frankly a lot of vendor wax. So anyway, went through an entire doodad, an entire thing container, there we go, and 2 of this one here. So I picked up 2. Delightful. All right, let's dig into some Scentsy here. I have 3 bars that I used up this week. Let's discuss. Okay, apples and oats. I love apples and oats. You can't get it unless you have it in your club. Again, this is another one of those fragrances where I just am really annoyed that it hasn't come back for Bring Back My Bar voting, just like my beloved almond croissant. I love this one. This is like my Fancy Lady oatmeal fragrance. You really smell the oats in here. You smell like the diced up apples. You smell a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg. It's just so perfect. It's the perfect amount of spice. It's the perfect amount of oatmeal. It's the perfect amount of apple. It is delicious, and if Scentsy does not bring it back soon, I'm gonna have to throw a fit. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna throw a fit, but I'm tempted. Okay, berry apple shortbread. This fragrance is fascinating me because you know what it smells like once I actually put it in the warmers? It smells like a lemon pound cake. Does anybody else smell lemon pound cake? It does not smell like lemon pound cake when it's just in, you know, the bar solid form here. But I promise you, I have it in the entryway. I have it in a couple of other warmers right now. Every time I walk past it, I'm like, I smell lemon pound cake. I don't hate this, but I'm just so perplexed as to how berry apple shortbread turns into lemon pound cake in my nose, but that's what it's doing. It's really delicious. I like it a lot. I would actually repurchase it, but I would probably melt it more during the summer. This is more of a summertime fragrance to me, but it is delicious. I will give it that. And then this is also really interesting because I don't know why they put this one in the fall. This really smells more like a summer fragrance to me. I'm also, really these two are great to have together right now because they're not super fall smelling. So, but I mostly get white peach from this. The cranberry, did I say what this is? It's the white peach and cranberry, yeah. There is just a little hint of cranberry in here for sure. You get that little bit of like the tartness. And it's a sweetened cranberry for sure. But really this is, I would say 90% peach. And specifically white peach. It's amazing. This smells so good. But I don't understand why it was released, I guess, in the fall. But I love it. I love this. It smells so good. I think if they amped up the cranberry, maybe just even by like 20% in this fragrance, I could see this being a much more like fall appropriate type of scent. Listen, I'm a very seasonal home fragrance consumer. I do not typically burn or melt summer fragrances in the fall. Once the fall has ended, like I move straight on to Christmas. Like I no longer will burn or melt fall fragrances, with the exception of a few that I think kind of can go between fall and Christmas very easily. But for the most part, like especially when it comes to that hard line of spring, summer, fall, winter, like I don't like mixing those up. So while I enjoy this, I just think it was kind of released in the wrong season, or maybe they didn't add enough cranberry to it. But that being said, listen, if you like you some peach, you got to check this one out. It is delicious. So anyway, that is all that Alf and I have for you today. You have to see just how absolutely exhausted he is right now. Look at how hard he worked. He's just barely making it, you guys. Just the struggle is real for Alf. So anyway, I'm gonna get this guy on the couch and have him relax with his sister Penny over in the family room while I clean up my mess in here. I really appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me today. If you are excited about my seasonal collab videos with my bestie Lisa Rowberry, I have a very pleasant surprise for you tomorrow because our fall collab is going live. So I hope you're excited. Make sure you tune in for it. If you are new, please subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a big fat thumbs up, and Alf and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo. Where are you going? I'm out of here, lady. All right. Bye, guys.